Hello everyone. I thank you for clicking onto today's video. Today's video will be a lot more of a serious and very much disheartening subject. If you read by the title and by the thumbnail, it is very much true that me and my family are being evicted. A few days ago, my family was hit with a note on the door by the management of our apartment that we've lived in for 20 plus years, longer than I've been alive, in a place where my mother and father spent essentially 1/3 of their life at, and the entirety of my life, with a 30-day eviction notice for a mistake that was completely unfair to my family and totally unprofessional from the upper management that works for this place. And for the details of it, I will get into here in a second, but there is one main point that I want to get through to you for this video. It's not something I say very often, but I need your help. You've all been such amazing people, and I generally want to stay away from anything with my personal life when it comes to this channel, but for once, it no longer just affects me, it affects the people that I care about most, which is my family. I leave out many personal issues with this channel because I want this place to be a place where I can just remove those negative emotions of my own and feelings and turn it into something better. To leave a little piece of myself that somebody else can take with that same positivity and do it amongst others that may need it more than what you once needed. A few weeks ago, I faced an event with my father. My father has always been a very strong-willed and a very My father has always been such a moral figure in my life when it comes to how I should treat others, how I should treat myself, and how I can take care of family. I nearly watched my father bleed to death right in front of my eyes from a varicose vein injury. Holding that towel to his leg, with blood seeping out, and seeing my father's life almost drained from his eyes is a very traumatizing experience. It's not something I didn't want to bring up to the channel because it didn't really have anything to do with what my hobby is. But that deeply scared me. And all this has been happening for better yet past almost a year and a half of just seeing my father deteriorate and his health decline even further than what I've seen in my younger days. For as strong as a man as he is, I've slowly watched my father be a shell of his former self, and whether it be due to drinking or stress that may be faced later in life, he's someone that I look up to, and I greatly respect him as an individual, and most importantly as a father. For once I thought I had a break, seeing him come from the hospital, me and my mother worried sick at home of her crying and me trying my best to comfort her, while trying to balance everything else as a young adult. I had you all. I had this little hobby of mine to distract myself from everything that happens in life. I was able to use that same energy that I felt was slowly killing me and turn it into something positive. Something that a viewer can take away and give that to someone else who may need it more than I do. Or more than you and I both. I don't find myself to be a very static person. For once, it feels like the world is weighing upon me with the declining health of my father and the anxiety ridding my mother of her basic sense. I ask for your help. I ask for your prayers. I ask for your wishes. I ask for anything of help. The people that I care about most in this world, to see them cry, to see them break the way they do. And now with the news recently of a 30-day notice to be evicted from a place that they saw as home, and a place that I saw as everything to me, is going to be stripped away due to unprofessionalism and pettiness from individuals in high places. I don't know if I'll leave this link down in the description, because recording this, I'm still unsure if I want to do this exactly, because I hate asking for things, but it's not only me asking for this, but it's my family. I have set up a GoFundMe, and it will most likely be in the description of this video. In this GoFundMe, if everything turns out to go wrong, and we have no talking point to the management of where I live, the last thing I would want is to see my family end up homeless. End up without a home, and end up a place where you can have sleep, a place where you could feel dry, just to live comfortably. Or at least comfortable enough for the standards of someone who hasn't really seen too much comfortable things in life. I don't know if all this will turn out to be okay. And another thing that I don't like to bring up to the channel is my faith in God. If the name wasn't obvious enough, I do hold some important Christian values in my life. The same Christian values that I try to use to make the world a better place in my eyes, without forcing it on the people, without preaching the word of something that people may not believe in. At the end of the day, it's your choice. But I owe a lot of where I am today, specifically to the Lord and all the help that He's given me and my family in very, very tough times. I hate to say sometimes that my faith runs thin. My faith runs very thin at moments where it seems like nothing can give a coherent break. But maybe that's my fault for assuming that life would allow that path for someone who's been slacking off, I guess. I don't ask for much, but for once in my life, and for once in this channel, and from all the fluffs that I respect and love very dearly, I just need your help. If you would like to donate, if you would like to give me some advice down in the comments, anything, I desperately need it. And I need to be as clear as possible for once, because, once again, I'm not the only one affected in this situation. I don't know if I'll be able to make videos coherently from now on. I won't be able to think a lot more clearly, at least for a little bit, and I can only hope you understand why I'm reaching out the way that I am. Because this place is my second home. Whether it's my family, it's this hobby, it's you, it's this place that I've lived in my entire life. I don't want this to be taken away from me. And I don't want this to be taken away from them. My mother, my father, they've been here my entire life. And they've raised me into a very, very silly young man, they would say. They've given me so much, and I think it's finally my turn to at least provide something back. And I couldn't imagine a better time to ask from the help from the people, just like you, for that help. I'm sorry if this is different. I'm sorry if this is not something you're used to, because it's something I'm not used to either. This isn't scripted by any means. This isn't me just making anything up. This is just life. And it's hitting a lot harder than usual. I don't know where this will go from here, but I have faith. I have some faith left. I'm sorry that I'm slurring my words currently. It's incredibly hard to think straight. And I don't want to get emotional in front of the camera, but it's hard. It's unbearable in moments, as of recently. When it's just me and my issues, I feel like I can slowly solve them. But when I see people that I've lived my entire life with fall apart the way they do, it irks and kills me inside. I really debated on making this video. I've been pondering on this information for a couple days ever since we received that eviction notice, and how we would deal with this, essentially. I wanted to take the mature route and the professional route of seeing what the exact reason of it was, but they decided to give that eviction notice on a Friday. And I can't tell my father to call them because they're only open on a Monday. It seems so petty what some people will do. And for the context of why I 99% sure know why the reason of why we're getting evicted is specifically a fire alarm. And I know it sounds silly, but fire alarms don't just stop. There's a thing you gotta take out a battery, or there's a button to click it off. Now you can imagine if a tenant who barely lives in an apartment and has one bed and isn't even around their own unit most of the time leaves a fire alarm to be blaring for 20 plus hours in an apartment complex where people are trying to wake up for work tomorrow, people with babies who need to have their sleep. And it's completely disregarded from complaints from people like my father, who have outright spoke against this and have made calls to a negligent company that runs our or manages our apartment complex. It's just unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. But maybe I haven't lived long enough to see things more thoroughly. And it's certainly hard, now of all times, to think about this type of thing. I don't want to drag this out for too much longer because sooner or later I'm just going to become an incoherent mess, and I'm going to be blurting out things I feel instead of being someone who can say that they need help. That they need help. Once again, I am sorry for the tune of this video. And I'm sorry that from here on forward, if things go unlucky, then I don't know if things will be the same. I will do my best to hold myself together, my family, and I'll most importantly try to check in with the people that have brought me to where I am on this platform. You all matter so much to me. And for once I feel comfortable enough to preach that I need help. That my family and I need your help. Now, I'll leave it at this. I'll try to check in with you all whenever I can. But once again, if you feel the need that you would like to show some help, or where you would like to donate to a creator that you enjoy to watch, you would be doing much of a service more than just me, or more to than just me. You'd be helping a great deal for my father's bandages and other medical supplies that aren't exactly paid off by the insurance for some odd reason. Welcome to America, I guess. You'd be helping a lot. And you'd be taking some weight off of my family's shoulders. But without rambling too much about this, I'm gonna end this off here. And once again, if you'd like to donate, I will put down a PayPal link down below if you would like to show your support. And I will be forever grateful. And especially forever thankful for the fluffs like yourself. Okay. I thank you so much for watching. Just know that I love you all so very much. In one way or another, I do believe things will get better, as much as I am tunnel visioned onto a bleak outlook. Thank you again for watching, and may you all have a very blessed day. Thank you.